think that your life, your client testimonials, what you have achieved are enough. Because when you decide it's enough, you show up in that way and you give yourself permission to show up in your full power exactly as you are. And it doesn't feel like you're faking.
You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in.
I really am so obsessed with the fact that like the microphone on my new AirPods is so good. And being able to record while I'm driving or while I'm taking the dogs for a walk or something like that, it's so nice. And I actually have them in right now as I'm sitting out on my deck, and it's really windy. So I thought I would put on my AirPods, and the quality is so much better. And it's just crazy because I had my last pair of AirPods for like 5 years. I was saying this before, but like I got them in the beginning, like the spring of 2020. I think it was when I hit my first 8K or 10K month. I like splurged on them. At that time, that was a splurge. And I was just like, wow, like this is really incredible. So it's so cool being able to just like hit purchase on a pair of brand new AirPods and like not even think twice about it. And I think that's just like really indicative of how far you can come, even though the days feel long and it feels like you're always like working towards something, you're always working through something, you're always building something, but the time will pass anyway. And this isn't the reason for this note that I'm dropping to you guys today. What I actually want to come in here and talk about is we are about 3 days into Ruthless and Rich the Mini Mind, and I have been editing content, going over hooks, just doing that shit like a fiend for the clients inside of there. And I love seeing their creativity. I actually decided on like a challenge before we actually started. And I said, you're going to do two posts a day. You're going to do a reel and you're going to do a carousel. And they were like, holy fuck. But a lot of them are like pretty much everyone inside of there has taken on the challenge and seeing their content is incredible. And it's also called Ruthless and Rich for a reason because I am going to be so direct and so honest. And I have been. And I've said, this is exactly what you can do to improve this hook to make it better. This feels very unclear. We need to clean this up. And that is where I thrive when like I know that I can be fully transparent and completely authentic because that's how I am with my clients, right? I'm direct, I'm honest, I'm to the point, and I also said, like, don't take any of this shit personally. When you guys can write fire fucking content, you will sign so many more clients. You will collapse time so much faster because you are being clear, you are being direct, you are harnessing the most potent pieces of your power and what you have to say and speaking directly to the clients that really need your work. And just content is that direct, organic, natural funnel from your audience and from your visibility to your offers. It is the most organic way. And I'm also a person that very much believes in quantity creates quality. I remember doing the garbage post challenge by, I think her name's Simone Soul. And when I was doing that, I was in a container where the coach saw that we were doing this challenge. Like it was me and a couple of the other people, and she had a lot of thoughts about it. And she was like, You don't want to create too much content, blah, 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 blah. And that was honestly just the start of a lot of rules that came from that container around what you should do and how you should do it. And I just never agreed with that, especially when I started coaching people on content is I really believe that volume and quantity is going to just make things more refined, make them better, make you better, and make you more skilled at doing the thing you need to do. And this is a perfect fucking segue because I want to talk about like this edge of perfectionism that will fuck you up in your content and in how you sell your offers. I was coaching two people this week. So the first one was talking to me about how it was a one-to-one client, and she was talking to me about how she has this feeling that because she teaches on manifestation, okay, but she looks back at her life and she actually has the most incredible life. She has the most beautiful, abundant amazing life, right? And if she were to look back, like even 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, she's living a completely different life. It's entirely because of her spiritual journey, her manifestation, her skills, all of these things, right? But she's not exactly where she wants to be. And when she was telling me this, she was essentially saying, like, it's hard for me to be like, oh, I love everything about my life and to present that to the public. And I was like, you don't fucking have to. First of all, you already have the story of how you have completely overcome and transcended where you used to be to where you are now. But not only that, but you are being paid to evolve. You are being paid to evolve and you are being paid to take your audience and your clients on the journey with you, right? And that's why, like, I often talk about my like income goals and the things that I want to achieve and the things that I am accomplishing in real time because I've done a lot of work to be able to share that stuff without feeling like, oh my God, everybody is going to see through me. They're going to like, do they even think this goal is a big deal? Is this going to tarnish my authority or whatever the fuck story that you're telling yourself that is preventing you from being fully fucking you and honest and authentic with your audience and in your content. You will feel so blocked around content when you are telling yourself like you don't have anything to offer your audience. And in this case, with my one-to-one client, her having this thought of like, but I'm not exactly where I want to be. I don't necessarily love the state that we're in, her like actual like physical state in the US, and like they eventually want to move or blah blah blah, like what the fuck ever and being like it's not the exact thing that I want. But your clients aren't looking for perfection. They're looking to you to see how you move. They're looking to you to see the actions that you're taking and how you're holding yourself and how you're in integrity. And this is how you truly show up authentically is to be so grounded in where you are. Because I told her the story about how like I've made multiple six figures from shitty fucking rental houses. The house we're in now, gorgeous. I have my in-ground pool. I literally scripted on this for years, right? Like I love my house so much now, but I have also made so much money from shitty fucking rentals because I never made it mean anything that like I'm not in the exact space where I want to be. And like I think this goes beyond the conversation of like, oh, you only need to be a step or two ahead of someone to help them. And while there is some truth to that, I just also believe that people want to learn from somebody who is fully authentically them and believes that that's enough and teaches from their experience and teaches from like here are the things that work for me, right? And you can take it or leave it. And if you want to be here, you can be here, right? And with the other client who's in Ruthless and Rich, she was saying she's selling this like business coaching program, and she was saying like it it's all around like selling your offer confidently and all of these kinds of things. But she was like, I don't have client testimonials that say that these clients are fully booked. Like it would look so much better if my testimonials essentially reflected that all of my clients are fully booked. And there's just such a perfectionist edge to this because it's like, is that even what your clients want, especially if you think about the concept of the offer? No, they want to feel confident in selling their offer. They want to feel in conviction about what they're talking about. They are responsible for doing the booking out. They are responsible for calling people into their own offers. But what do we all want? A lot of it is less strategic than you even realize. We want the identity shift. We want the conviction. The strategy, of course, comes with it, but at the end of the day, your potential clients just want to feel a certain way and they want their life to feel a certain way. But you doubting yourself and thinking that your client testimonials, your personal life, all of these things aren't good enough, you are the determining factor behind that. You get to decide what is good enough and what is authentic and real enough for your audience to see. And that's the thing about being fucking visible is your audience and your potential clients only get to see the version of you that you put out there. And if you're not good with you, if you're not in integrity with yourself, if you're not embodied in the work that you teach, and it's it's not it's not hard, but it's simple, right? It's simple, but it's not easy. That's what I'm trying to say. It's simple, but it's not easy to be embodied. You have to really look at like what feels inauthentic about how I'm showing up. And usually it's because you're putting on a face, you're trying to prove when how you fucking alchemize that shit is you actually think that your life, your client testimonials, what you have achieved are enough. Because when you decide it's enough, you show up in that way and you give yourself permission to show up in your full power exactly as you are. And it doesn't feel like you're faking, right? It's like when clients say to me, I wish I had these kinds of client results so I could show up confidently. It's like you are deciding that your client results aren't good enough. You are deciding that the thing that you've accomplished isn't good enough. I had a client who had a 20K month once, and she was like, well, I have all these people on my explore page, coaches that I follow that just had like a 50K month or a 30K month. And I said, this is fucking insane. Like for the longest time, all you wanted was a 20K month. And now that it's here, you're telling yourself it's not good enough. This is not an issue with the money. This is obviously an issue with you. And this was like a newer client who had come in, and like this was one of the things that she really wanted to work on is like celebrating herself and celebrating her wins and her accomplishments because no matter what she achieved, it didn't feel enough. And then she would self-sabotage. And then she would like go back to like roller coaster income months and she would feel not good enough and she would stop showing up as often. And it was just a big cycle of self-sabotage. And it started with her being like, damn, I fucking did that. And I can brag about it. I can talk about it. I've had clients do this with 10K months. I've had clients do this with 5K months. I've had clients do this when they sign a high ticket client and then they're like, okay, but when's the next client? And I'm like, let's take a second to celebrate the fuck out of this client because what you focus on expands. This is fucking abundance 101, right? And coming back to that edge of perfectionism, we have to say fuck it because that is going to seep into everything. That is low key what I'm doing right now with my ruthless and rich clients is saying fuck it to perfectionism and being like, you can just pump content out without it needing to be perfect because you don't realize that the compound effect of you showing up and being consistent and creating content that speaks to your clients, it's just going to compound into recurring revenue, into clients who resign, into a big fucking business. Perfectionism is like the root of never getting anything done. When people tell me, like, how do you do it all? I allow everything to be so fucking imperfect and I don't have any thoughts about it. Like, I had to record an episode for my podcast. I wanted to record something for this channel. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do both. I'm going to record something for the channel and I'm going to stick it on the podcast. And it doesn't matter whether you're listening to this in the channel or whether you're listening to it on the podcast. Like, I'm not going to be like, okay, need to record something separate for each thing. But like, you can get so caught in the weeds with that shit. But you're slowing down your own success by like needing things to be perfect, for needing to be perfect, for your life or your business or your client results needing to be and look a certain way before you tell yourself it's enough. There are people who would pay you and will pay you thousands of dollars for your evolution, for what you've experienced, what you can teach them, how you can move them, but you have to tell yourself that it's fucking enough. This is the exact shit that we do in the Real Deal Mastermind. We take your stories, your worthiness, all of these sticky points where you feel like it's making it hard for you to show up and be visible and sell your offers with consistency. And we turn that shit into gold. We turn it into the points that you're fucking proud of and you learn how to show up fully, authentically as your fucking self. You learn how to post content that is spicy, that is direct, that is calling in the exact fucking person that you want to work with. You learn how to master your sales process, master your fucking content, and we do it all with the subconscious belief that you are good enough, that you are worthy, and that you can receive and hold massive amounts of money so you can create recurring income and a big fucking business. This is the space for women who are scaling to 10K to 20K months. And this is the signature way to come in and work with me and get coached. I do content reviews every single week. I'm in there coaching you. You get access to the curriculum. You get 2 hot seat coaching calls a month. You get Telegram. You get access to all my micro programs and the mini minds and all of the things. Like, this is the place to be inside of your coach Jill. Inside of your coach Jill. That sounds weird, but like inside my business, this is the room to fucking be in. And when you know that you're not fucking around anymore, when you know that, like, okay, I need to be in the room with a coach that cares about me, who is invested in me and my business, who is there to support me with the content, with the sales moves, with the mindset and the identity shifts that I know I need to make to become the version of me that makes massive amounts of fucking money. When you know and are ready for a container like that, you can join us for 6 months or 12 months. And I can't fucking wait to coach you.